Prince Harry has such a cheek that he is now piling the pressure on Catherine, the Princess of Wales, to step in and try and save his failing relationship with Prince William. Not understanding that it's over, brother. It is gone. Finito. Just accept is that Prince Harry doesn't even have William's phone number anymore. That is, of course, a mortifying revelation for the Duke of Delusion.
But if you're the royal family, and I know this for a fact from talking to people close to them, right? There's a lot of wariness about them, right? They don't trust them, period. They just don't trust them. I mean, Harry to them is like Brooklyn Beckham is to the Beckhams now, right? I don't think anyone could be a worse son than Harry.
For a long time, many people believed there was still one person in the royal family who hadn't completely let go of the hope that Prince Harry and Prince William could one day repair their relationship. Even as the distance between the brothers seemed to grow, Catherine, Princess of Wales, was often seen as someone who believed family ties still mattered, even after painful disagreements.
William was fuming, but was particularly upset about what Harry said about Kate. He is fiercely protective of her and will find it hard to ever get over it and have a proper relationship with his brother again.
But according to recent reports, that hope may have finally faded, and the reason has sparked fresh debate about whether any reconciliation is still possible. Reports shared by Dan Wakeford, citing sources said to be familiar with both sides of the ongoing family divide, claim that Catherine had remained the last senior royal willing to leave the door slightly open for Harry. While Prince William was reportedly no longer interested in rebuilding trust, and King Charles was said to be focused on his responsibilities and his health, Catherine was believed to have quietly hoped the two brothers might eventually find a way to speak again and move forward. According to those reports, that outlook changed after Harry made public comments about King Charles's cancer. Those remarks prompted different reactions from commentators, but some sources claim they had a strong impact on Catherine, especially considering everything she had gone through with her own health challenges. That reported shift has only added more attention to the ongoing questions surrounding the family's future.
Do you ever want Harry around when he's going to insist on bringing his wife, who once made you cry, then lied about it, to Oprah, and always seems to have varying recollections?
Relationships. According to those reports, that was the moment when Catherine's outlook finally changed. Sources said to be familiar with the situation claimed she reached a point where she no longer believed it was her responsibility to keep trying to bring the family back together. One reported account even suggested her attitude had become, "This is on you, Harry." Whether that description is completely accurate or not, it lines up with what several royal commentators have been saying for months. The person who had long been described as the family's peacemaker was no longer believed to be working behind the scenes to close the gap. If those reports are accurate, it would mark a major turning point in a story that has been building for years. It has also added fresh attention to claims that Harry has been trying to reconnect through indirect channels instead of speaking with William face to face.
Not to mention, you really don't want his wife around who would sell clothing to the effect of what to wear to meet your evil sister-in-law.
According to the same reporting, there have been ongoing discussions that Catherine is still seen as the one person who could reach William if she decided to step in. That does not necessarily mean she plans to get involved. In fact, several commentators now question whether she has any desire to place herself back in the middle of a family dispute that has only become more complicated with time. Some royal observers have also compared the situation to earlier reports involving King Charles.
A circus, no matter what anybody says, it will be the big moment. The king has had a gun held to his head. Effectively, they've said, we're coming over. All the leaks have come out to say they're coming over with the kids. Therefore, what does he do? He says, okay, you can use the palace if you give enough notice.
Where possible family meetings were said to include several expectations surrounding fines, security arrangements, and other conditions. Those comparisons have only added more buzz to the ongoing conversation about whether any private discussions could happen in the future. Those reports have sparked even more debate among royal watchers. Critics argue that past attempts at reconciliation have often seemed far more complicated than they needed to be.
Expert Dan Wakeford says Harry wants a reconciliation. He regrets the things he said in the book, the documentary, and doing that again is off the table. Yeah, right. What's heartbreaking Does he kind of hope that William would stumble a little and reach out and need him?
Supporters, however, see the situation differently, pointing out that security has remained an important concern for Harry and Meghan throughout the ongoing family dispute. No matter which side people agree with, the disagreement has continued to dominate headlines and keep the royal story in the spotlight. Critics have also pointed back to the lasting impact of Harry's memoir, Spare. According to palace sources quoted by several media outlets over the past few years, Prince William was especially hurt by the sections that discussed Catherine.
I don't know if I believe this. He's got no avenue to communicate with him. However, the expert claimed it cannot happen as Harry reportedly no longer even has William's phone number.
Although many parts of the book triggered widespread public debate, royal commentators have repeatedly claimed those references caused some of the deepest personal strain within the family. Reports have consistently described William as being highly protective of Catherine, making it especially difficult for him to move past what was written. That claim has remained a major talking point as discussions about the brothers continue. Adding another layer to the story, some commentators have suggested William believes the years of intense public attention placed an enormous emotional burden on Catherine during an already challenging period in her life.
Brooklyn, I take my hat off to you, son. The spoiled brat entitled behaviour, and the common theme is two American women, but we'll come to that later. But in fact, you've read Wallace Simpson, they're 3 for 3. The issue here is trust, right? So obviously the king, as a father, would love to see his son.
That perspective has never been officially confirmed by the royal family, but it continues to appear in reporting and commentary. If that view truly reflects William's thinking, many observers believe it could help explain why the relationship between the brothers now appears more distant than ever, and why hopes for an easy reconciliation seem to be fading. If recent reports are accurate, the issue is no longer only about repairing the bond between two brothers. Many royal commentators now believe the focus has shifted to something much bigger: trust. Several observers argue that once trust has been damaged over many years, rebuilding it can become incredibly difficult, especially when close family relationships and young children are part of the picture. That is why some royal experts believe Catherine's priorities may have changed in recent years.
Right? Obviously he would. He doesn't want to have this on. Charles really doesn't like confrontation.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't like everything to be chaotic and traumatic and combative. He would just like it to be calm so he can get on with doing a very good job, by the way.
Rather than focusing on bringing the family back together, some commentators now suggest Catherine's main priority is protecting Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis from being drawn into more public controversy. Whether people agree with that view or not, it has become a recurring theme in discussions surrounding the royal family and continues to attract plenty of attention. Several events from the past are regularly brought up whenever this topic returns to the headlines. One of the most talked about examples is the bridesmaid dress fittings before Harry and Meghan's wedding. That moment has remained a major point of discussion for years and still sparks debate whenever the family's relationships are examined. Different versions of what happened have been shared over time, and the disagreement became even more public following the interview with Oprah Winfrey. Meghan said Catherine made her cry.
As our monarch, I think, and I think the trip to America was astonishingly successful, and his greatest moment, actually, as a royal. So he's doing his stuff. He just wants the rest to just be calm. So I don't think it really, for him, he's like, well, obviously I'd like to see my son.
While later reporting and other accounts presented a different version of events, because the people involved have shared conflicting accounts. Exactly what happened remains a matter of public debate rather than an established fact. Even so, that episode continues to be mentioned whenever commentators discuss the relationship between the two women. Other controversies have also added to the ongoing family divide. Critics have pointed to promotional material connected to Meghan that some interpreted as referring to difficult family dynamics, while attention also returned to claims published in Omid Scobie's book. That book generated enormous headlines after reports said different editions included names connected to allegations about conversations concerning Archie's skin colour.
But the problem is everyone around him is like, well, how do you trust him, sir? How do you trust this son of yours who every single time you see him in the last few years, everything gets leaked?
Well,
right? And then you add Meghan to the mix, who said she'd never come back to the country, who has spent years trashing our country, who's branded the royals a bunch of callous racists.
Those allegations have been strongly disputed, and the entire situation quickly became one of the biggest royal stories of the year. Regardless of where people stand on the issue, many commentators believe it added even more strain to an already tense family relationship and made the possibility of rebuilding trust appear even more difficult. Harry's memoir, Spare, continues to be one of the biggest talking points whenever the royal family is discussed. Among its many personal stories were passages involving Catherine that attracted widespread media attention.
Don't like you, and I have to be pleasant to you. But if you feel slighted because perhaps I'm not as effusive as you'd like me to be, then what are you going to do? Say I'm a racist? That will happen again, because in her mind, if we look at Meghan, in her mind, no one could possibly not love her.
Some royal commentators have argued those sections left lasting resentment, particularly for Prince William, who has long been described as deeply protective of his wife. Those claims continue to surface whenever questions about the brothers' relationship are raised. While readers hold very different opinions about the memoir, many observers believe it made repairing family relationships even more challenging. Around the same time, Catherine faced months of intense online speculation surrounding her health. During that period, countless rumors spread across social media, with some users questioning official announcements or promoting unsupported theories. The level of online discussion became enormous before Catherine publicly shared her diagnosis.
Felt like Meghan would use the children as a human shield, because who's going to boo children? Unfortunately, we saw an idiot booing children at King Charles's birthday parade, and we saw Catherine's death stare at them when they booed the royal family as they passed. But the strategy that Meghan might be using the children as a human shield so people won't boo her or yell at her in public.
Critics have also questioned why some of the harsh commentary circulating online was not publicly challenged by people connected to the wider royal debate. Whether those concerns are viewed as fair or not, the conversations continue to shape how many royal watchers see the situation today and have kept emotions running high. Because of everything that has unfolded over the past several years, some commentators believe William and Catherine now approach family gatherings very differently. Their view is that even a private meeting could quickly become the focus of worldwide headlines, intense media coverage, and renewed public speculation. Even an ordinary family conversation could end up being examined from every possible angle, making any path toward reconciliation seem even more difficult. Another event that sparked fresh discussion was the recent wedding of Peter Phillips. Harry was notably absent from the reported guest list, leading to another wave of speculation about just how distant family relationships may have become and whether the divide is continuing to grow. Around the same time, reports circulated suggesting Harry chose not to attend because of concerns about media coverage. However, other royal commentators challenged that version of events, claiming he had not been invited in the first place. As with many royal stories, the conflicting accounts have kept the debate alive and fueled even more public discussion. Lady Colin Campbell later claimed that, based on information she received from people connected to the event, neither Harry nor Meghan became a topic of conversation during the celebration. While those claims have not been independently confirmed, they have added to growing speculation that some members of the royal family may now be more focused on moving forward than revisiting past disagreements. According to that perspective, the priority may be keeping family occasions centered on the people being celebrated, rather than reopening old disputes. If there is one point many royal commentators seem to agree on, it is that the distance between Harry and much of the royal family now appears greater than ever. Recent family events have only reinforced that impression. Rather than allowing long-running tensions to dominate the headlines, several members of the family appear determined to keep major occasions focused on the celebrations themselves and the people at the center of them. That became another major topic of discussion following Peter Phillips's wedding. Prince William and Catherine attended the celebration, and much of the media coverage focused on the bride, the groom, and the guests. Harry's reported absence immediately sparked another wave of speculation, with royal commentators offering different explanations for why he was not there. Some argued it reflected how strained family relationships have become, while others suggested the organizers simply wanted the spotlight to remain on the wedding itself, instead of shifting attention toward the ongoing royal controversy.
Unspoken consent. Harry and Meghan's names were not mentioned, that they are persona non grata to such an extent that everybody understood it would be a solecism to mention the names of... Oh, wait for it. I made a note of it. The tosser and the dosser.
Often associated with Harry and Meghan. Whatever the actual reason may have been, the event quickly became another example cited by commentators who believe the divide within the royal family has grown increasingly difficult to overlook and continues to capture public attention. Another issue that royal observers frequently bring up is trust. Over the past several years, private family disagreements have repeatedly become public through interviews, documentaries, memoirs, and media reports. Because of that history, some commentators believe senior royals may now be much more careful about what is discussed behind closed doors. Their reasoning is simple. Once trust has been damaged, rebuilding it can take years, especially when any private conversation has the potential to become international news. Lady Colin Campbell was also among those who questioned reports suggesting Harry had personally decided not to attend the wedding. She argued that the situation appeared very different from the way some early reports described it. As with many royal stories, however, none of the key people involved publicly addressed those claims, leaving plenty of room for continued speculation instead of clear answers. That silence has only encouraged more debate among royal watchers. Alongside the ongoing family story, attention has also shifted toward Harry and Meghan's professional future. Various commentators have pointed to the end of several high-profile business agreements and suggested the couple may be entering a new stage in their careers. Others disagree, noting that both continue to work on media projects and charitable initiatives. Even so, conversations about their financial direction have become increasingly common, with many analysts wondering what their next major move might be. Some royal commentators have even suggested these changing circumstances could help explain renewed interest in improving family relationships. That remains an opinion rather than a confirmed fact, but it is one of the many theories that continues to circulate and generate discussion. Others reject that idea completely, arguing that personal family issues, rather than financial considerations, are the real reason behind any reported efforts to improve relationships.
Mechanism for stripping them of their titles. Why should they be allowed to march around the world with unofficial royal visits, making tons of money for themselves in the process, without doing any royal duty whatsoever?
Without direct confirmation from Harry or the royal family, however, those competing explanations remain speculative and continue to be debated by commentators and royal watchers alike. Another topic attracting attention is the future of royal titles and roles. Commentators have long pointed out that when Prince William eventually becomes king, he will take on far greater responsibility for the monarchy and many of its key decisions. Because of that, some analysts believe the current relationship between the brothers could have lasting consequences for years to come. Exactly what those consequences might be remains unknown, but it continues to be one of the biggest questions surrounding the royal family's future. Recent public appearances have also sparked fresh discussion about Harry and Meghan's changing public profile. Media outlets have closely examined attendance at different events, audience reactions, and the couple's individual engagements, leading to renewed speculation about both their professional direction and their personal dynamic. While isolated moments can easily be interpreted in different ways, many commentators believe they point to a period of transition rather than long-term stability. Adding another layer to the story, royal reporter Tom Sykes has claimed that Prince William is becoming increasingly concerned about how the family has handled ongoing tensions. According to his reporting, William believes some earlier approaches to difficult family relationships may be repeating themselves in ways that could create even greater challenges in the future. Those claims have not been officially confirmed, but they have added another talking point to an already closely watched royal story. Those claims have not been confirmed by Buckingham Palace, but they have added fresh momentum to an already intense public discussion about the future of the royal family. At this stage, many royal commentators believe the biggest question is no longer whether Harry wants to reconnect. Instead, they argue the focus has shifted to whether Prince William has any interest in rebuilding a relationship that reports suggest he believes has been seriously damaged. According to several reports, that view has remained unchanged despite continued speculation about a possible reconciliation. Every new report seems to reignite the conversation, but many commentators believe there has been little sign of a major shift behind the scenes. One issue that continues to be mentioned by royal reporters involves the allegations that placed Catherine at the center of one of the monarchy's most widely discussed controversies. Those claims made headlines around the world and have remained deeply divisive. While the circumstances surrounding them have been strongly disputed and different accounts have been presented, commentators close to the royal family have consistently suggested that William viewed the situation as crossing a line that would be extremely difficult to move beyond. Whether people agree with that assessment or not, many believe it had a lasting impact on his outlook. Several journalists have also described William as someone who rarely changes direction after making an important decision.
Why should they?
Totally right.
It's absolutely outrageous. And
also, why should they have the titles of the children as well? Prince and Princess. It's a load of old nonsense. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
I thought they weren't going to use their titles,
they're
the
not
children.
supposed to use the titles. That's what they agree.
Oh, she'll be using all the titles.
That's what they agree. But the fact is that they're going to come here. It's going to turn into a...
According to sources quoted in royal reporting, he is known for relying on his own judgment rather than being easily influenced by outside opinions. Because of that reputation, many commentators remain skeptical whenever new reports suggest someone could persuade him to rebuild his relationship with Harry. Their view is that if William has truly reached a final decision, changing his mind would be extremely difficult. The same reports also suggest King Charles is expected to maintain a busy schedule in the coming months, making any private meeting with Harry appear increasingly uncertain. Royal commentator Paula Froelich has also argued that expectations surrounding a summer reunion may be unrealistic, despite renewed speculation whenever Harry is expected to visit the United Kingdom. That perspective has only added another layer to the ongoing debate about whether any meaningful reconciliation is still possible. As of now, Buckingham Palace has not publicly commented on those reports. Attention has also shifted toward Harry's upcoming appearances connected to the Invictus Games. While those events remain an important part of his public work and charitable efforts, some royal observers believe they have also sparked fresh speculation about whether any private family meetings could take place during the same visit. At the moment, however, there has been no official indication that such discussions are planned, leaving much of the conversation firmly in the realm of media speculation. Another topic that continues to generate discussion is the future of the Sussex titles. Some commentators have argued that removing those titles has become less important than further limiting the couple's role within the working royal family. Rather than pursuing dramatic constitutional changes, several analysts believe the institution has instead focused on creating greater distance while avoiding unnecessary public conflict. Whether that assessment is entirely accurate remains open to debate, but many observers describe the current approach as one of quiet separation instead of direct public confrontation. That view has become another recurring theme in conversations about the royal family's long-term direction. Beyond royal matters, commentators have also continued examining Meghan's relationship with members of her own family, particularly her father, Thomas Markle. His health has recently returned to public discussion, bringing renewed media attention to their long-standing estrangement. Over the years, both sides have been the subject of extensive reporting, and opinions remain sharply divided over how that relationship broke down. Because no full reconciliation has taken place, the situation continues to attract public interest whenever new developments emerge. Critics have also questioned some of Meghan's public outreach while pointing to the ongoing lack of contact with her father. Others strongly disagree with those criticisms, arguing that private family relationships are often far more complex than headlines and public commentary can capture. As with many parts of this story, much of the debate continues to be shaped by competing interpretations rather than confirmed facts. Taken together, these developments have led many royal commentators to a similar conclusion. They argue that rebuilding trust within the royal family would involve far more than arranging a single meeting or having one private conversation.
But ultimately, how long will he spend with them? No more than half an hour if it happens. Will Camilla be there? Absolutely not. Will William be there? Absolutely not. Will they meet their cousins? No, they won't. So how much has been repaired here?
From their perspective, years of public disagreements, conflicting accounts, and deeply personal disputes have created barriers that cannot be resolved quickly, no matter how often new reconciliation rumours make headlines. After everything that has unfolded over the past several years, many royal commentators believe Catherine's reported position is becoming clearer. Whether people agree with that reported stance or not, Several royal analysts suggest her main priority is now protecting her immediate family rather than trying to repair relationships that have repeatedly faced setbacks. That viewpoint has become an increasingly common theme in recent royal reporting. Supporters of that perspective argue the issue is no longer about a single interview, one memoir, or one disagreement. Instead, they believe it reflects years of public disputes, conflicting narratives, and trust that has gradually weakened over time. From that point of view, rebuilding those relationships would require much more than a conversation behind closed doors. It would likely take a complete reset, something many observers believe may be difficult under the current circumstances. At the same time, Harry and Meghan continue to attract enormous public attention, ensuring that nearly every appearance, public statement, or reported meeting quickly becomes a major headline and fuels another round of discussion about the future of the royal family. Some people still believe the royal family could eventually find common ground, while others feel the divide has simply lasted too long to repair. Without direct confirmation from the people involved, much of the public conversation continues to rely on media reports, commentary, and informed opinion rather than official statements. That is why the debate remains as active as ever, with new claims and fresh reactions appearing whenever another royal story makes headlines. For William and Catherine, many commentators believe the focus now appears to be on stability, privacy, and raising Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis away from unnecessary public controversy. Whether that approach changes in the future is something only time will reveal. Based on the reports that continue to emerge, however, many royal experts do not expect a dramatic breakthrough anytime soon. As always with stories involving the royal family, one new report can quickly shift the conversation, and unexpected developments often capture headlines without warning. Until then, royal watchers will continue following every update, looking for signs that relationships are either improving or becoming even more distant. What do you think? Has the relationship between Prince Harry and the royal family reached the point of no return? Or do you believe there is still a path toward reconciliation someday? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who follows the royal family, and subscribe for more celebrity news, royal updates, and the biggest entertainment stories as they unfold. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.